So I want to play around with my Decadence palette. I want to do like a blue-green look, and I'm not intending for this to be a pet pairing video, but if it turns into one coincidentally, I will definitely include it on that playlist. I just had this like look in mind, and I thought, you know what, I have time, I will just switch on the camera and do the look together with you. I'm starting off with my Auric Glow Lash, which I'm going to, you know, highlight underneath my eyes with. So it is Saturday today, and I had the absolute weirdest day yesterday. I basically had a Friday 13th without it being Friday the 13th. Like, I don't believe in Friday the 13th, but if there was ever one, that was fucking yesterday for me. It all started off already when I woke up. I woke up yesterday the usual time, around like 7:30 or so, when Nikola woke up, because usually when he wakes up between 7 and 7:30, when he wakes up you can hear him because he's already like babbling in his room and like he's making noise because he's playing with his toys, so we know that he's awake. We don't really take him out immediately because sometimes we like to just, you know, lay in bed and sleep in a bit longer. So yesterday my husband got up around 7:30 to take care of Nikola, bring him downstairs, get him breakfast and stuff, and I turned around happily 120% convinced that it's Saturday. So I turned around, I slept till around 9, and then around 9 I went downstairs, you know, super happy because the plan for Saturday was, so for today, that my husband and my son are going to go to the indoor playground because the summer in the Netherlands has basically like taken a holiday this year. We're just getting grey clouds and rain, so the indoor playground it is. So I go downstairs and I am confronted by a very strange image. First of all, Nikola is nowhere to be seen. It's really quiet, he's nowhere to be seen, and my husband's on his computer, seemingly in a work meeting. And I'm confused, you know, at this point my brain starts to be slightly confused, and I slowly descend into panic because I don't see Nikola. Like, I turn around, I go outside to check whether he's outside in the backyard, but it's like way too fucking quiet. He's nowhere to be seen. And then I go into full-on panic mode, and I think my husband sees me at that point. He removes his headphones because he's on a call, and I'm like, where is Nikola? And he says, I brought him to daycare. It still doesn't dawn on me what's happening, okay? I panic, I start to question my reality, and I think, why is Nikola at daycare on a Saturday? Like, daycare is not open on Saturday, what the fuck is going on? And then I see that my husband is on a work call, and it just is not making sense in my brain, okay? My neurons are misfiring, there's a short circuit somewhere along, you know, the wiring, I don't fucking know what's going on. Next thing I know, I think, okay, I'm going to check my phone. Then I, you know, press the button, and it says Friday the 30th of July. And at that point, it slowly starts to dawn on me, wait. Yesterday was Thursday, which means today is Friday. I'm still going to work today, it's just a regular work day. And then I slightly panic because I think, oh no, it's already 9 o'clock. I was supposed to already like be almost out the door. So I think, okay, you know what, there's no need to panic. I don't have that much planned for today. It's going to be a relatively quiet day, so at least, you know, we can remedy this bad start of the day by just having a relatively quiet day at work. One of my colleagues was going to go on holiday, so I had promised her that we are going to get a coffee together before she leaves. So I arrived at work. I didn't really open my email. I just immediately texted my colleague because I was, oh no, wait, I actually went upstairs to the lab. So my office is on the 2nd floor and the lab is on the 5th floor. So I went upstairs to continue an experiment that I had started the day before. So I go upstairs, I come across another colleague of mine who's doing an experiment that I know a little bit more about, so she wanted some advice. Anyway, the whole point is I don't really have time at all to check my work email. I decide, you know what, fuck it, I'll check my email later. I'll just text my colleague to go get a late morning coffee. So I text her, we go to get a coffee, and then for some reason I decide to open my work email. And I start seeing all of these messages about an experiment that one of my colleagues had done that we were very hopeful will have worked out, because if it doesn't work out, it means that I have to do it. Everyone is on holiday. I have no context in that project. I don't fucking know what I'm doing, but there are a few things that need to happen within a very short time frame. Short story with that is that since July 1st, I am placed on a different project. I have this really big project that's been running already for 6 years. I sort of need to wrap that up. I've been doing my best to wrap that up, but experimental work is not something that you can really plan, because things don't work out for whatever reason sometimes, and you basically have no control over that. So I'm still busy wrapping that project up, but I knew that the new one is coming, and I was fully prepared to know that in the fall I'm going to start to be taking up more responsibility for it. But already 2 weeks ago, when I opened my work email after holiday, I was confronted with a very long email which started with urgent, urgent, you need to jump into this thing that needs to happen before mid-August because of planning. And it's basically very unfortunate planning, because what it means is that everyone is on holiday. I have no context in the project that I need to do, and I am going to have to figure it out somehow, because somehow it needs to happen. Anyway, that's besides the point. But one of my other colleagues, a technician at the lab, had basically postponed her summer holiday for a week so that she can be there to give me a bit more context and to actually help me out with setting up something, because she didn't really have more experience in it, but at least she had seen the machine that we're supposed to do the experiment on. And yesterday I opened my email while I was having coffee with my colleague, and I saw that the experiment that she had done had not succeeded, so we needed a new reagent to come in, and that's only going to come in when she's already on holiday. So I basically have like 1.5 weeks to try to redo the experiment she did, hopefully successfully. And then another reagent that we were going to need for testing that new machine would also only arrive like mid-August, when she's not there and pretty much no one is there, actually. Pretty much everyone else is on holiday. So I was already like getting a little bit in quite a bad mood, because waking up being so confused about your day already sets the tone very low. So when the news started to like pour in, I was like, okay, this is already like not promising to be the best Friday ever, but whatever. I'll figure it out, it's not the first time I have to figure things out by myself. It's just that the part that bothered me the most is that I don't have context in that project, and I hate it, because if you haven't thought about something, if you haven't not planned it, read about it, and so on and so forth, it's very difficult to just jump in and do it. Anyway, let me tell you what we are doing for the eyes now. So I'm going to first take the single in statuesque, because I want to put it a little bit through my crease before I go in with the other shades. By the way, I did not mention anything I put on my face so far, but if you have particular questions about any of the products, please do let me know. And then about the same time, I see my friend Claudia. I will try to link her Instagram down below. I absolutely love Claudia. She is a like niche luxury beauty lover, and she always has these like super sassy opinions, and sassy not in like I'm trying to be sassy, sassy as in she's very critical of makeup, skincare, food day brushes, that kind of thing. And I really appreciate her opinions, because I really like people who are critical thinkers. I read a post that she has made about the new Utopian palette from Pat McGrath Labs, and she points out to a fact that I had already kind of like seen circulating around, but I was either like actively suppressing it because I didn't want to believe it, or I really didn't notice it. So just to add salt to the wound to my already shaping out to be a pretty bad day, she mentions that the multichrome shade in the Utopian Dream palette is not, I repeat, it is not one of Mother's Blitz VR or Astral shades, basically none of the special shades. It's just a good old powder metallic formula. It's in a pan. You can see the metal pan around it, because usually the 4 special shades in the right corner of the palette, they're baked into the pan, so there's no like metal pan. You can check your palettes, you will see that. Also, when you read the description from Pat McGrath herself on Instagram, she says the palette contains 7 powder eyeshadows and 3 hybrid eyeshadows, which also suggests that we are only getting 3 Blitz VR Astral shades in the Utopian Dream palette. So this is the first Mothership palette ever, besides Decadence, which is only metallic, but that's a deal we were aware of, that will not contain 4 but only 3 of the special shades. And that already really sours my mood, because I just do not understand this choice, okay? I don't understand. The VR Extraterrestrial shade was superior to anything indie brands have released precisely because of its formula. Not because of the shift, not because it's something new and revolutionary. We've already seen, like, those of us who are aware of indie makeup have already seen plenty of multichromes. And the multichrome pigments that are being used by brands, they're the same. They're not different across different brands. That's why you see the same multichromes coming over and over again, because the pigments are the same. It's just the formulations that differ. And what set Pat's VR Extraterrestrial shade apart from Cleona and Divina and Terramus and whatever was the formula. Blendable, smooth silk, you know, such a pleasure to work with. So I don't understand this choice. I don't understand why it's a metallic. And what I even don't understand... Okay, now I'm going to take a little pause here from my frustration to let you know what we're going to do with the look. I want to do this shade as like a very outer corner shade. I want to put this on half of my lid and this on the other half of my lid, because I think they're going to make a really nice combination, and I'm wearing... my pants have almost this color, so I think it's going to look really pretty together. So I don't get this choice, and I also think it's very sneaky, because the part that confuses me the most is that the shade is called Blitz. It's called Blitz Extreme. So the name suggests that it's going to be a Blitz shade. So that's really throwing me off, because Pat McGrath has never called anything that is not one of the baked Blitz VR or Astro shades with that title. She's never given a title to a shade that's not one of those formulas with that name. For instance, the Rose Fire Nectar shade from the Voyeuristic Vixen Quad. I do remember telling you guys that that shade, you know, has its own special thing going on, because it's a totally new formula from Pat McGrath. It's flaky, it's incredibly impactful, but it is not called Blitz VR or Astral, it's just called Rose Fire Nectar, because it's not one of those baked formulas. So I don't understand why she's calling that new shade Blitz if it's actually not a Blitz. Either somehow it's a Blitz, which I don't think so, because she says 7 powder formulas, or she's being sneaky, calling something a Blitz when it's not. Personally, I'm feeling a little bit cheated. I want to still, you know, withhold complete judgment until the day I actually have the palette, because once I hold the eyeshadow palette in my hands and I can swatch the eyeshadow, I can immediately tell you what is going on. And of course by then other people will have probably posted their videos, and we will already have more information about the actual formula on this shade. But as of now, it really seems like they're sneaking in a traditional metallic shade in the special 4 shade corner, which, okay, is really irritating to me. So the whole day I kept having that in the back of my mind. I kept being really irritated about it. And the misfortunes didn't end there. The rest of the afternoon I had to finish up some experiments which theoretically were not a big deal, you know, wouldn't take me too much time. Took me so much longer because for pretty much both things that I had to do, reagents were missing. In the first instance I had to finish something for which I needed a pretty, you know, common antibody that we have in the department. But as it turned out, because a lot of people in our department think that reagents just kind of like magically manifest out of thin air, the reagent had been finished, it had not been ordered on time, and we didn't have it. I'm going to, by the way, now take this shade, Lapis Luxury. It's beautiful turquoise blue, and I'm going to apply that on like this part of my lid, up till the center more or less, and a bit over top of the Underworld shade. So it hadn't been ordered, and I was kind of in a sticky situation because I was already in the middle of the experiment. I couldn't just postpone it, so I had to just scrape out whatever was left in the last tube, which was absolutely not sufficient to finish the experiment properly, but you know, what other choice did I have? And then later on during the day I had to freeze down some cells that I had made recently, like precious cells, stuff that takes over 1.5 months to be made, and then you want to like freeze it down immediately as soon as you know that the cells are fine. By the way, now I am going to be taking this shade, Sinful, is that Sinful? Yes, the shade Sinful, which I have been loving this whole year, on the inner part of my lid. I was about to start the procedure and I was looking for the special vials in which we usually freeze down these cells, because you need like special vials that need to be resistant to low temperatures, because frozen cells are usually stored in liquid nitrogen. And lo and behold, I could not find the fucking vials anywhere. Searched through the whole department, asked pretty much everyone, and by scraping through, you know, whatever I could find in the lab and neighboring lab, I was able to find 6 vials, which was luckily sufficient for my experiment. But I was just so annoyed at that point, because pretty much the whole day everything was going wrong. And then, of course, on my way home I almost got driven over by a car. Totally not my fault, by the way. I was there is a point at which I have to like kind of go down, and then a roundabout comes, and I am not a reckless biker, you guys. I don't bike too fast, and I always signal where I'm going to turn, especially on a roundabout, because I think it's like also very polite towards the drivers. They know where I'm going, so they can stop or not stop depending on that. Usually people are very careful here around roundabouts. Even if you signal, they will still stop, because the thing is that in the Netherlands, no matter what happens, if you get into an accident with a biker, as a driver, it's always your fault. Even if I would like literally like drive in front of a car and 100 people could confirm that I did that, it's still the driver's fault, because here they protect the bikers above all. But in this particular case, I signaled that I was going to turn, like come onto the roundabout, and I saw a car out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, this guy is driving a bit too fast, I don't know whether he's going to stop. So I slowed down, and I could see out of the corner of my eye that he's about to like pull the brakes right before he hits me, and I like did a little like swoop so that he doesn't hit me. And you know, it all happened very fast. I was fine, but I was like, this is like the perfect, absolute perfect ending of the day. Luckily from that point onwards, nothing super dramatic happened. I went home. We had snack bar food for dinner, because I think I deserved that. And by snack bar food I mean, in the Netherlands they sell like fries and all sorts of like other fried meat goodies in the snack bar. I don't know, it's a very Dutch thing. I cannot really describe to you what a snack bar here is, but basically it's very unhealthy food. And I thought, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to have that, because I cannot be bothered to even think of anything. For my inner corner, I am going to take this really stark silver shade. I think it's going to look really pretty with this look. So yeah guys, yesterday was pretty much crazy town. I started the day thinking that I had totally lost my marbles, and then it was just downhill from there. And then luckily today is really Saturday. I was so happy when I woke up today, and it really was Saturday. On my lower lash line I'm going to take the deep blue shade again and just put that here in the very outer corner of my eye. Have you guys ever had that, or have you had it? Like, I can't remember being confused about which day it is since high school. I think the last time I woke up like, I don't know, in the middle of the night on a Friday to Saturday thinking that I'm already late for school. I think that's the last time that happened to me, sometime in high school. I haven't really had that in a really long time. I wonder what it means. Probably that I'm a bit fried from work and I don't want to go there. I am taking a little bit of Lapis Luxury now on the same brush, and I want to spray it because I want it to be more like a very precise line and also not get all over my eye. And I'm just kind of going to draw it on the rest of my lower lash line. This shade is just so pretty. I'm going to take a little brush like this and just blend here around the edges of Lapis Luxury and Underworld. I think I would like to keep my lower lash line pretty blue tone, so I'm going to take this Kiko eyeshadow stick in the number 41. It is a very light metallic blue, and I'm going to apply that right here into the waterline. And afterwards I'm going to set it again with Lapis Luxury, just so we have a ton of Lapis Luxury going on everywhere, because it's such a gorgeous shade. It's actually the shade I mostly wanted to use today. So I'm just lightly applying that right here over top of that Kiko eyeshadow stick, very carefully with my little brush. I am really loving how this look turned out. I cannot get enough of like blue and green together, and I have no idea why I have never tried this combination before, which is why I said in my eyeshadow palette tag video that the Decadence palette gives me inspiration, because there are so many avenues not taken yet. Anyway, because the eyes are, you know, so eye-catching, pun not intended, I kept the lips pretty simple and I just have a lip gloss on. This is the shade Bronze Temptation from Pat McGrath. It's a gorgeous, like sort of like warm nude lip gloss. I absolutely love it, and I think it complements this look absolutely perfectly. Thank you so much for watching my little rant about the weirdest day that I had yesterday. Let me know what your thoughts are on us being duped with that Triochrome shade in the Utopian Dream palette. Are you as pissed as... So I was not disappointed about the Utopian Dream palette at all up till this point. Up till the point that I realized that I'm getting one special shade less. I did not have any negative feelings towards this palette, and now I do. And I will... Oh, rude. Go away. And you can bet your ass that aside from my shipping rant, we are absolutely 100% going to add a rant about not getting enough baked shades in the new Mothership palette. But you know what? Maybe just like with the highlighter, I'm going to eat my words and it's going to turn out to really be a special shade. Maybe I should just shut up and see what the actual palette looks like when it gets here, or, you know, listen to other people's reviews once they start coming in, because they're going to probably be filmed before mine. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to head to the city now to have lunch with my friend, and as usual, I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!